Two of the foremost heroes of South Africa's liberation struggle are to be found in the personalities of Yusuf Dadoo and Monty Naicker. Their lives' work contributed significantly to shaping people of Indian descent into African compatriots, firmly part of our rainbow nation. Both men trained as medical doctors at the University of Edinburgh, returning to South Africa in the mid-1930s to rise to prominence as community and political leaders at a critical stage in the struggle against racial oppression and apartheid. Dadoo and Naicker are most remembered for the so-called Doctors' Pact of 1947. Yet, the impact of their brand of political activism has proven to be much more profound. While Dadoo made common cause in 1939 with the communists of the CPSA, the Communist Party of South Africa, it was Naicker who, from 1941, busied himself with helping to establish the nascent Indian trade union movement. Both leaders were to pay a heavy personal price for their commitment. They were both arrested several times, often resulting in spells of imprisonment. In 1949, the Indian-African unity that the Doctors' Pact had promised lay in ruins as riots tore apart Natal's African and Indian communities. And so began the painstaking task of restoring trust between the two national groups. Dadoo was abroad at the time, and it was left to Naicker and the ANC's Natal president, AWG Champion, to jointly tour Durban's African and Indian settlements and call for peace. Naicker and Dadoo's commitment to joint action of the Indian Congresses with the ANC saw Naicker himself leading a group of African volunteers to defy racist laws and being arrested, tried and serving a prison sentence along with them. It sent a very powerful message of non-racial unity in action. In 1956, the state attempted to charge Naicker in the infamous treason trial, but withdrew the charges against him in 1958. Naicker was nevertheless served with successive banning orders, the last of which expired in 1973. The state of emergency imposed after the Sharpeville massacres in 1960 caused considerable upheaval in the ranks of the liberation movement, and Dadoo was forced to go underground. However, as a leading figure in the SACP, he continued his political work in support of the ANC and Mkhonto Sizwe. The restrictions placed on his movement and political involvement effectively ended Naicker's life as an activist in the struggle. Although he was made nominal head of the anti-SAIC movement, opposing Indian participation in the detested tricameral parliament in 1977. He died the following year. Dadoo was elected chairperson of the SACP following the death of J.B. Marx in 1972. He became a lifelong confidant and comrade of both Joe Slovo and Moses Mabhida. But Dadoo's extraordinary work schedule in the cause of the struggle eventually took its toll on him. He fell ill in 1982 and died in September of the following year. In their time, Yusuf Muhammad Dadoo and Gagadura Mohambri Naicker stood out as men of unwavering conviction, devoting their lives to the cause of freedom in South Africa. One a Marxist all of his political life, the other profoundly influenced by Gandhi. One raised as a Muslim, the other as Hindu. The legacies of both men are enormous. Their vision and their lives' work of almost half a century were instrumental in persuading the Indian community to link its destiny with that of the African majority.